I have a theory which is not for minutes taken, and is that when God created Africa, He said, I will give you mineral riches.
The Commercial Aviation Association of Southern Africa's first symposium got off to a great start here at Lanseria Airport in Johannesburg. Topics under discussion, according to stakeholders, are all relevant to the central theme of businesses growing their footprint in the rest of Africa. According to Caasa's CEO, it does not only make business sense, but it's also a question of South African businesses in the sector actually surviving.
If you look at the two subjects, that the main subjects of this event was growing into Africa, and secondary, basically integrating and sharing the airspace. In terms of growing into Africa, we need to, as an industry, move into Africa, utilize all the potential that's there and actually utilize that to our potential. We can't just operate within the South African borders. We need to take everything we've got, all the technology, all the knowledge, and move into Africa and start serving Africa. And by doing so, actually block the other countries to do so from their side. If we don't do anything in terms of growing into Africa, the Americas, the Europes, the Chinese, all of them are going to get into Africa. So as an industry, we need to make sure that we grow and also then grow into Africa. Within the South African borders, the industry is basically at its limit. We have to grow outside the border now and grow into Africa. Inside the country, the business is not that great.
There were a host of relevant speakers at this inaugural event. Economic advisor Dr. Roelof Botha was able to provide greater insight on the latest findings of the Commercial Aviation Activity Index.
The index consists of 25 different indicators, but they are essentially grouped into trade data, imports and exports of spares and aircraft, and also air traffic movements at quite a large selection of airports in South Africa, large and smaller airports. And the trend since the fourth quarter of last year has been for the industry to start picking up again after a disappointing run, which coincided with the general trend in the economy, which was where the growth rate was also going down and down and down towards the end of the Zuma era. We expect this to improve in future. In this industry, it's very capital intensive. That aeroplane that we hear in the background that's just taking off, you don't buy that in a shop and you pay cash or put it on your credit card. So we certainly need more policy certainty, and we need lower interest rates. The Reserve Bank is exactly 230 basis points behind the curve because inflation has dropped by 280 basis points and they've only given us 50 basis points relief. If I were to become governor tomorrow, I would lower the repo rate by 230 basis points. It's as easy as that.
An exciting new commercial aircraft offering is in the pipeline for Africa. The SARA project was outlined more comprehensively here.
I think first let's unpack the name SARA. SARA is an acronym for Small African Regional Aircraft. So SARA, even with a feminine name, represents a 24-seater regional airliner, twin turboprop aircraft, which is still a concept at the moment. It's a concept that Dinel established around about the early 2012s. Since then, it's become closer to reality, to the point that we've done a market study on the aircraft. We've got a few students from a few universities, about 4 universities, doing their PhD and their master's thesis on the aircraft. It's still a paper aircraft, but very soon it's going to be real. It's important for a few reasons. Number one, there was a study done earlier than 2012 by a collaboration of GE, as in General Electric, Georgia Tech, and a few other parties in the US, where they were trying to identify the propensity of traveling or the preference of the future traveler. In their study outcomes, they identified that number one, the traveler would want to travel with aircraft that are more fuel efficient, which is less costly for them from a ticket sale perspective. Number two, they would want to travel from what they call point to point. So for me to go from here to my end destination, I don't have to drive to a major airport like OR Tambo, fly to another major airport, and then drive again to my final destination. The study showed that people in the future would want to travel within a space of 800 kilometers, but spend less than 2 hours traveling. So SARA has been designed to more be suitable for that type of a market.
In terms of relevance of this symposium, here's why it's important to keep this momentum going.
I think this is a great opportunity for operators and industry alike to get together
on a common platform to talk about opportunities and also challenges in the industry and see how we can help each other and even work with industry and the governing bodies like the Civil Aviation Authority. I think the first symposium was quite successful, well attended by operators, industry alike. I think what was heartening was to see the Civil Aviation Authority was here as well, represented by Caasa. That's always good to know that the industry that's governing the operators within South Africa is supporting initiatives like these. You see, what currently happens is all the South African companies are scattered. They work in silos. We need to get them together. They need to sit together and talk to each other. They need to collaborate and move into Africa to the benefit of this country. So we're planning to do this annually. The next event will probably be in Cape Town or in Swakopmund, Namibia, depending on various factors. We are planning to enlarge or increase this specific symposium to cover the whole of Africa and be the commercial general aviation symposium in Africa. It might take a few years, but that's our main aim and main goal.
Sheena Mohammed for Joburg Today.